Hello everyone, I'm Sam, and this is day 2 of making an email server with Dovecot and Postfix. I do just want to remind everyone again that this is a professional space, and I do expect a minimum level of decorum in the comments and chat, so please just be respectful. And I guess let's just go jump right into it and pick up where we left off. So yesterday we set up Postfix in a Podman container, which I have over here, and essentially the last thing we did before I ended the stream was get the certificates working, and there was some issues with that, but I did end up actually getting them working, and I have them here actually, so you can see I have the certificates and the private key here. And if I go back, I can actually show the command that I used with certbot, I believe. So that's probably will be helpful for some people. Here it is. So this command with these flags for certbot basically allows you to pull a certificate using DNS to prove that you own a certain domain. So if you're interested in doing that, this is the command for that. And I also have the directories for the configuration and the work and the logs, etc., set up to be a local directory just so you can run it without root, because usually there's some kind of directory in like /etc/certbot, but now they're kind of just a local directory so that you can do them without running this command as root, which I prefer to do, especially when you're doing it with only DNS authentication, because it doesn't need to spin up a whole web server. So that's good. And now let me go back into the mail user. Oh my gosh, where did I put that command? There it is. Okay, so we're back in the mail user. And I wanted to, just very first thing, I wanted to figure out where the certificates actually go. And it looks like they go in SSL-cert-snake oil for whatever reason, because that's where Postfix wants them. And so I can just move those and then stop .pem and .key. And I think I used the full chain. That's what it said. I set it up. So let's just copy from certs full chain, and then let's put that in mail and postfix resources. Okay, perfect. And so we wanted it to be cert, oh gosh, I already forgot. SSL cert, okay. SSL cert dash snake oil dot, and this is PEM, and then let's get that private key in there. And eventually I'm going to move these to a secret store, but for now I'm just going to keep them alongside everything else in the Docker container. And so now I have the certificates in there. So okay, let's see what it says. Let's see if we can get some logs indicating that it found our certificates. If we do podman compose up, it should build. Unrecognized command. Oh, it's a dash. Podman dash compose. Okay, perfect. Yeah. So Postfix is already in use. Okay, so we have to Podman compose down. Okay, and then let's put it up again. And so it should. We have in our Podman compose configuration that it's going to build the container before it runs it. So it should be building it right now, and hopefully we'll see some sort of indication that it has correctly found the certificates and loaded them into the server. I'm not sure if it's going to tell us that here, because I think the logs might be kind of tucked away. Yeah, it looks like the logs might be kind of tucked away for Postfix. So let's see if we can get a show. Podman exec t, and I think it's just Postfix and bin bash. Ooh, container state improper. So that's not good, because it should be running right now. So, okay, let's try and just build the Docker file. Oh, actually, maybe we need to pull. No, do I have uncommitted changes here? No. Okay, so this should be up to date. This should be the up to date Docker file. So let's see if we can build this. Podman build dot. Okay. So it's building it right now. And actually, so one thing that might be causing issues is it might have not rebuilt the container since it, we only built it the last time like a day ago. So it might only rebuild it every however long. Okay, so this is interesting. Storage. I don't know what these warnings are about, but it says archive, so I'm thinking maybe this is not a super critical service, but we'll see if that becomes a problem later. I'll just hopefully try and remember that, because I'm not really sure, like skipping, and then it has all of these things, and then it's skipping it since it's a socket. I don't really know, like, I don't know why these are sockets, or why it's would skip them if they are a socket, or what it's even looking for doing. So we'll have to look into that in a minute. But it looks like it built it okay. So let's see if we can Oddman compose. Let's bring it down and let's put it back up. And hopefully now it will be running with the latest built container, because it looks like it did copy. Yeah, it copied the certificates fine. So, oh, I want to demonize it actually. So let's go down and then up -D, so it runs in the background, and then I can do oddman exec it postfix, then bash, and then we'll get a shell. Okay, so it says container state improper again, which is weird because it just, so maybe, okay, maybe this this like UID here, maybe this is the actual running container and it's not named postfix, which I thought I set up, but maybe not. Okay, let's see. Does it have any containers listed that I can just tap through? No. Is there like a list? Oh dear. Okay, let's see. Podman pod. Podman pod stats? No. Okay. So I don't really know why this isn't working. Because we should, at the very least, we should see a container that is running. Oh, okay. Wait. So this is the container. This UUID is the container. This is the running container. Which is interesting because I tried to connect to that earlier. EBA, is it EBA8? Okay, let's look for that. So up here, yeah, I tried to connect to EBA8 and it said container state improper. So I think something might be crashing. Something might be crashing. I wonder if maybe because Postfix isn't like using systemd, maybe it's like assuming that it has stopped, even though it is still running in the background, but it's just not running in a background in the in a way that it recognizes. So okay, let's see. Let's just look up and see like starting Postfix in the background. Oh, here's someone else on serverfault.com trying to run it in Docker. Oh, okay. So it needs syslog. So why doesn't my, like, because one of these should just be like from systemd, so maybe we can find the Debian package for systemd and just like install that, because I know the container doesn't really like need it, but I just prefer systemd because it's what I know, and I find it to be very like configurable and easy to use. So let's see if we can do that. Let's see if we can get syslog working, and hopefully that will fix our problem, and then we'll be able to see logs, and also it won't crash. Okay, so I'm just gonna try. What is this? What is this post saying? So they're saying this is like starting postfix, and then they're like redirecting. It looks like they're redirecting standard error. And okay, so this is some like log file. Oh. Okay. This postfix is launched in a CH root environment, which is default many distros. With postfix start foreground, you'll have the var spool postfix etc. directory empty. Postfix will not know your local time hosts resolve.conf. You will not be able to deliver a single message. Service postfix start. Okay, so I think this might just be because it's old and it just doesn't interact with systemd at all, which is what I would really prefer. Okay. Right. So, yeah. Oh gosh. This seems like, so it looks like postfix actually is known to have some problems with systemd because it uses the old sysv init system. Does this have a source? Okay. Okay, so they're just installing. Wow. This seems really silly. I don't think. I think I just want to get it to work with systemd because it really should work with systemd. It's the standard logging and service running like system on every modern Linux distribution. So there's like no way that it can't work with systemd. That would be silly. Right. This is great. Okay, so it says we can run postfix check. So maybe let's see up here. I have, yeah, pod, new postfix. So let's try this in the server, and then let's see if we can do check and see if maybe it's an issue with the configuration. Because it looks like there's a lot of stuff online that's talking about like older versions and older systems. So, okay, postfix is in use. Okay, well then I should be able to just go into it with a shell, no? Oh, does it not have bash? No. So container state improper. Is there a show command? Ugh. So many different ways to do the same things in Podman, which is mostly not their fault because they're trying to maintain compatibility with Docker, and like some ways are like the Docker way of doing it and some ways are the Podman way of doing it, which is like slightly better. Object to note. So maybe I just want to see like how is it running, but it's also not running, like images, import info. Okay, so let's try info. Podman info. Well, I have never had Podman containers behave so strangely before. Okay, so this is like information about the server, which is cool, I guess. So okay, here's the volume with the Maildir. That's cool. But I'm not seeing anything about the running containers. So I guess info is not the command we're looking for. Okay. Let's see if there's another command that might give us more information. Manage Podman. Okay, what about stats? Like stats postfix? Okay, it's using 0 CPU and 0 memory and 0 anything, so it looks like it's dead, but I don't know. It's like saying it's running when I try to start it, but then it's saying it's not running when I try to enter it, which is so strange. So I think, oh my gosh, adding pod to state, name postfix isn't used, container already exists. So what if I just do like new, wait, I'm actually not sure which one of these is the name of the name of the image, but I'm gonna try that. Okay, so here we go. Now we have a new container. So let's try this container and getting a shell here. Okay, there we go. So now we have a shell, and then can we do postfix check? Okay, so postfix check worked. So we don't have an issue with our configuration. So I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on. I'm literally clueless. I think it's probably just not, it's trying to start a postfix service, and then Podman is like, okay, the container's done like starting up, but it doesn't see any like anything running because it's however it's starting the service, it's like not detecting that. That's what I think. But I'm also like, I don't think that even makes any sense, because it's like even if you run a Docker container and like nothing's running in it, you should still be able to enter it and start new things. But for whatever reason, that's not working. So okay, let's try it. Let's kill this container. Okay, as it is running. Okay, worse. Wow, I don't know why it's taking so long. Okay, so I just killed it. Yeah, that's fine. I don't care. So what if we just, let's try taking it down, putting it up again. Okay, so we have this UID. Bin bash. Yeah, I don't know why it's, but I bet if we try to do this, it would say you can't remove it because it's running. Oh, No, it doesn't. So it's not running. The container exists, but it's not running. Okay, so what if I just try and start it again? Command down. Or Podman Compose. My bad. Okay, Podman Compose down. Podman Compose up. And what if I do Podman start Postfix? Okay. And then we try going into Postfix and getting a shell. What? Okay, is there something in Podman start where I can like get like logs or something? Help start. Attach. Okay, yeah, let's do that. Podman start postfix stash. Okay. So maybe I could actually postfix resources docker file, like could entry point. Oh, I already have that. I already have the entry point as bash. So what on earth is going wrong? Because I don't understand what the difference is between what I'm doing to run the container manually that like makes it instantly work, and then what I'm doing when I'm doing compose up. Like there shouldn't be any real difference between those two things. So, okay. We're connecting it to a VLAN. We're using the postfix. We're naming the image that we build postfix, and we're naming the container postfix. Okay. Oh, is it this like dangling environment thing? Does that have something to do with it? And it also has restart unless stopped, so it shouldn't ever be stopped at all. Like it should just if it like fails, it should just restart. So okay. Okay. I forgot to put it down first. Down. Oh, and I think we have to rebuild it. I think I can use the option where it pulls the image every time, but I don't know, because I'm assuming that if I do the option where it pulls the image every time, it'll instead build it every time if it's set up to build it. So, Podman build. I have to tag it. Oops. Okay, so let's try putting it up again. And let's see. Hopefully I should be able to get a shell, right? Okay, so it's still not running. Okay. Restart unless stopped. Network alias. Postfix. It's got a volume. It's got a volume. It's got. Wow, I have no idea why this isn't working. I have literally no idea. Okay, so let's try just like Googling this. Podman Pose. Finishes with code 0, but container is not running. Let's try that. Maybe this will get us a result. Okay. Oh, here's a Podman troubleshooting guide, so maybe let's try this. Okay, so this is not a guide. Here's the real guide. Podman version. So 4.3.1. It's probably not too old. It's probably a little old because we're running on 5.5.2. So it's a little bit old. But that's okay because we're running on Debian, so like of course it's a little bit old. That's normal. But it shouldn't have any like horrible bugs because they usually backport stuff. Okay, so the SE Linux problem, I've run into that before, but that's not what we're seeing. Real skinny Bill Hanks. Okay. So, still none of this is the problem that I'm having. So this is not my problem. So this, we've already done enable linger, and that's also another problem because we've been logged in, so it's not logging out that stopped the container. Okay. So I feel like maybe this problem is my fault. It's something I'm doing because it doesn't look like... So I still don't really understand what the actual problem is that we're facing. Maybe I should just look up this exact error that I'm getting when I try to do a shell. Like, what does that mean? Because I think it says can only create exec sessions on running containers, which like makes sense that like the container is stopped, but it's like, why is it stopped? It shouldn't be stopped because we just started it and it starts fine on its own, but not using Podman Compose. Crashed is paused or still starting. Okay. So let's try this. Podman PS-A? Postfix? Okay. Exited less than a second ago. So what? Why is it exiting? Okay. Thank you, CAPTCHA. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, but this isn't when its main process finishes. Okay, so its main process is what exactly is it? Maybe I need my entry point to be postfix start, but postfix start forks and then This is the worst. It's the worst. I feel like we are very deep into debugging right now. It's strange error after strange error. And I think the biggest part is running Postfix, which is such an old application, through Podman, which is like a very new, like written by Red Hat, and they like love systemd, and it doesn't work with systemd, and so whatever checks they're doing to like make sure things are still running in the container are definitely not picking it up. So yeah, I think we should probably, I think this is probably what I want to do. I want to look at these people who are saying that it's not starting in the foreground. Since Postfix 3.3, Docker is natively supported. Okay. Okay, so it's saying that start FG works in Docker? So let's try this. Oh, and they have CMD, which I think is actually better. Just use this. Thank you, kind user from server fault. User Espen Postfix. I don't know if that's where mine is located, but let's try. It's always worth trying. And then I think, should I keep the entry point as bash? No, probably not. It's probably fine because I can just specify it manually. Okay. In the foreground. And so hopefully then we'll actually see some logs too. If it is actually like Postfix is dying for whatever reason, hopefully we'll actually get some logs, which is very important, I think. Doop. Full. Okay, and then Podman compose down, and then Podman compose up. Okay, okay. So now let's try this, and on Postfix. Okay. Logs Postfix. Okay, so we're actually in the same exact place. So literally nothing changed. Well, that's nice. That's helpful. Is it just because I need to build it again? Build dot tag it postfix. Oh, that's not how you spell that. Okay. Let's see if there's sorry, not postfix. Podman compose build every time. So, okay, let's try whole image every time. Okay. Let's just try Docker Compose, because usually their documentation is better. So it's honestly, it's very often easier to find documentation for Podman Compose by looking at the documentation for Docker Compose and then just copying it and hoping that, you know, they've stayed compatible. So this is no cache, force recreate. Like, this is all great, but there's a way to do it in the configuration for sure. Here we go. This is it. This is it. Docker compose up build no cache. Okay, so I guess you can't do it in the configuration, because usually there's a way, you know, all of the little like flags like build no cache, like you can just add that to the actual Docker Compose like YAML configuration, but it looks like I guess maybe you can't. So let's just try pose up, demonize, build, don't cache. Oopsie doodle. There we go. Put that dash in there. Okay, and now it's building it from scratch. So I probably could keep the cache. Probably keeping the cache is probably fine. So here we go. It looks like systemctl reload postfix. Interesting. Okay, so it does use systemd? Okay. So, well, okay, if it does use systemd, that, like, a podman pod. So this is, I'm looking to run a systemd service within a podman pod, and they're saying run a podman pod within a systemd service, which is backwards from what I'm trying to do. Because I'm actually also going to do that later, but not right now because we haven't even gotten it to work. Okay. So let's just try. Let's just try how it is now, and maybe it'll be fine. Maybe it'll be fine. So it's just going to rebuild this whole container, which is fine. And then it's saying we should reload the configuration, so we might have to add a step to reload the configuration, but from my understanding, if it's not running through systemd in like when it actually starts, we shouldn't need to reload the configuration through systemd, because when we actually do like run foreground, it's just gonna load the configuration then, and so it'll be after we've applied the changes. So let's see. I'm not optimistic, but hopefully this works. Oh, it works! Oh my gosh! Okay, wait. So let's see if there's logs. Logs, post-its. Okay, there's still no logs, which is very strange. Okay. 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 If I can spell start correctly. Okay. So maybe just... Okay, loaded, running. What about... Oh, I probably have to install. I don't know why it doesn't come with system... Like, the Debian container does not come with systemd by default, which is very strange because normal Debian does come with systemd. I guess it kind of makes sense, but I don't know. It's missing a lot from a standard Debian install, that's for sure. So okay. I think journalctl is not a package. Oh. Yeah, what is it? It's like in something else. Is it like Sisyphus tools? I don't know why I think that, but that's like in my head for some reason. Oh, okay. Well, that's helpful. Journal CTL? Did I spell it wrong? What? Okay. What? Let's figure this out. What package in Debian provides CTL? I just want logs of any kind. I just want to see it loaded the certificate. It's running. Like I have no idea how much of this is working and how much of this is broken. I just have no concept because I can't see any logs from anything. So is there just like a systemd like meta package? We just like apt install systemd. Oh, of course. There you go. Okay, so oh, system is not booted with systemd in its system. What? Okay, wait. So can I just restart? Boot. Okay. I think if I reboot it, it's just gonna lose systemd. So let's just let's do this. Let's just add systemd. Which I feel like maybe this is like a frivolous exercise. When I could just get it to work without systemd. But it's just kind of like I understand systemd and it's gonna give us the ability to actually see logs and manage Postfix like as a service, which is like kind of how it's meant to be run. And it's someplace they're saying that you can just do postfix start fg, but actually postfix. Okay, so start g stop. Wow. Okay. Status. Oh my gosh. Postfix mail system running PID1. So why don't I have any logs from it then? Okay, I don't think we need to use systemd, but we're not getting any logs, and I find that very strange. Especially because multiple sources on the internet say that if it doesn't have access to some kind of like system logging service, it's not going to create logs. So let's actually go look at some other projects that have used Postfix on Docker container and see what they're doing to get it to run properly. So let's see, do they have GitHub? Yep. Okay, so we have Metis, RSPMP, PHP, Dovecot. Okay, cool. That'll be useful later. Postfix. Okay. So they have their own. Okay, so somewhere on here, they have their own Postfix container because it's pulling it from GitHub container registry. So they have Postfix here somewhere. Postfix. Okay. Wait. Packages. 12 packages. Okay, so here's Postfix. So what generates this? Okay, I guess we can look and find that at .github workflows. Probably image builds. Build Docker images. Postfix. Okay, yeah. So here's the Postfix. Helper scripts. Docker compose override YAML. What? Okay, so I guess they're helper scripts. Okay, wait. Build flags. Data, Docker files. Okay, there it is. Data, Docker files. Postfix. Here we go. Okay. Postfix. Okay. Wow. That's a lot of stuff. Don't think we're going to need all of that because some of this looks like it's like connecting Postfix to a database, and we are just going to use a Maildir. So okay, so they have a script that says supervisor. Okay, so they're using so much different stuff to achieve this. This is not okay. So they have like configuration files stored in here. And all of these are actually, these are the SQL queries that Postfix is running to, I guess, like get emails or different like pieces of information. Wow. Okay. So this is like kind of nuts. This is so. This is a very extravagant configuration file, I think. Wow. Fix postfix permissions. Okay. Okay. So let's look at this Docker entry point. Maybe this has it. Yeah, I have no idea. This looks like it's fixing OpenSSL, so there's some sort of like they had to like change the configuration for OpenSSL. This seems like really complex, and they're running a very non-standard postfix configuration. So I think this is actually kind of not helpful. Because more of this is just like making postfix work for them than it is making postfix work, period. I'm very curious about this user bin supervisor D. Not sure what that is, but let's look it up. Let's find out. Supervisor D. A process control system. Okay. Okay, so this doesn't seem necessary. I don't think we need this. Yeah. Okay. Let's just look for a basic Postfix Docker container, right? This one. Oh goodness. uh So this is also a different complicated thing that it looks like this is for. Yeah, this is for if you're like sending emails from your Kubernetes server. This is like a relay. Yeah, sometimes this is the reason why I'm doing this actually is because very often in like the container space, you'll find a lot of open source projects that are like doing 30 different things and they're for like a very large scale, like enterprise scale type of project, which is not necessarily always a bad thing, but I find that if you're running containers like just as one person to actually manage these kind of like huge systems with like hundreds of configuration files and hundreds of different containers like talking to each other, it can get really out of hand really, really fast. And I think for me as one person, like managing these containers and trying to, make sure that everything is secure and up to date and this and that, I think it's a lot easier to just build your own containers using like directions for setting things up on any standard Linux distribution. And you can, basically just containerize any sort of application or process that way. And I find that that is usually a lot more efficient and generally easy than trying to kind of like shrink down these enterprise Kubernetes, large scale applications to like a scale that one person can manage. Because very often you can make like smaller mistakes that really like kind of balloon and blow up if you're not careful, just because of how complex some of these configurations are. So that's a big reason that I'm doing this in the first place, is like trying to make something that's very minimal, very simple, so that it's easy for me to maintain and keep up to date and keep secure and not run into any issues with the configurations that could cause like a crash or a vulnerability. So yeah, that's my spiel. I guess I'm like a little bit demoralized by this whole process because I have no idea why this like very simple thing isn't working or giving me any logs. And all of the things that I usually check to see like how they're doing it are these like huge like run postfix within Kubernetes and have it like talk with every other container that exists, versus what I'm trying to do, which is just run postfix as you would normally run it on a Debian server to host one email, and instead do that inside of a Docker container for security and ease of updating. And I don't know. I don't know why it's not giving me logs. I think we just have to jump in and figure that out. But I think for now, I may take a short break and I'm gonna get some water and get a snack. And I think I'm probably gonna, on my break, I'm probably gonna research this a little bit more and see if I can find some more details about just getting Postfix to give you logs properly and how its logging system works and whether it works with systemd or sysv and what all of that means, because I've seen, you know, so many different conflicting resources on this matter, and I think I'm just gonna like sit down, drink some water, have a little snack for like 10 minutes and just research this one, like not trying to talk and live debug, because I think that'll be a little bit easier. So hopefully I will come back with some new insights, and I will see you in, let's say 10 minutes. I will see you in 10 minutes.
Attention please. Please do not smoke in the terminal building. Smoking is only permitted in the specified smoking areas. Thank you.
こうやって二人でいるとデートしてるみたいだね。
Okay, so I'm back. I had a nice little snack. I drank some water and I did a little bit more research on my Nook. And I've got, and if you're wondering, this is my Nook that I have converted into a regular old Android tablet, which I am making a blog post on. Maybe it'll come out someday. It'll come out someday. Not today, but someday. And I found that we have to add a new file to our configuration because we only configured the main.cf file, but apparently there's a different file, master.cf, that we have to add. So I don't know what the difference is between those, except for the fact that it looks like they use a completely different format. But there is this piece on the Postfix website. Let me get this URL, postfix.org/mail log readme readme.html. So this oh, let me put it on. Let me put it on the screen. Okay. This is the page that I read. And apparently it doesn't log to standard out by default, and it actually, they're like, you should mess with this like configuration file if anything has systemd, or if anything is running in Docker, or like anything that isn't like the old sysv init system will have problems if you don't edit this file, which is super helpful that this is listed nowhere on the website, and the internet is like completely oblivious to this page's existence because it's like the solution to all my problems. But I found it through much searching in my 10 minutes. And yeah, let's just put this in. Let's see if we can get this to work. So I do want to make sure we get the I think it's //postfix/master.cf probably. So let's see if we can get that from the running container, just so that we have like kind of like the default stuff in there, because I don't want to get rid of everything. So yeah, there's some defaults in here. Wow, there's a lot of defaults in here. Okay, so this, yeah, I don't know what a lot of this is doing, but I don't think it's super important because we know what we need to change. So let's come in here and get a new template, and there we go. Nope. Save. Okay. And so is there already... Okay, so here's this post log. Okay, so I'm going to change this post log line. Post log. Copy. So is this post log line? Oh, I guess it's already configured? Yeah, it's already the same. Okay, so we have that. So I guess actually you know, I might just delete. No, I'll keep this file. I'll keep this file just in case there's something else we need to change about it later. So let's copy postfix. Okay, so now we have that file in there. And there was one other thing that said mail log file equals /dev/standard out. So let's put that in our main. Do we have? No, we don't. So log to or Docker. Host system. There's rotate log files and the container. Perfect. And yeah. So hopefully this should give us some kind of logs, and then we'll see if it's actually running or working. And fix logs. I'll do attempt number 1 in case we have to do multiple log fixing commits. And then we could squash them later. Well, I guess we can't because I already pushed it, but that's okay. Git pull. Okay, and then let's rebuild. So compose up, build, no cache. Okay, so let's wait for this to build, and hopefully, my hope is that this is going to give us a working container, and with that, we will just be able to open the ports and hopefully send our first test email and have it show up in the Maildir. We'll see. I don't even know if the Maildir is working at all. Honestly, I don't know if it's even writing to Maildir. But that's something that we'll find out when we test it. So yeah, it's still building over here. Let's wait for this to finish. I wish I had something more interesting to talk about then. This is the 7th time I've tried to do this and it hasn't worked. But yeah, if this works, which I'm hoping it will, we'll see some logs, and the logs will hopefully say everything is working fine. You did a great job. And that's not what they say, because they say that I have to stop the container first before I build it, which is true, and I didn't do that, and I know better. But let's remove that cache. Let's use the cache. Because the only problem with that the cache should be causing is if the postfix package is out of date. So it would, because it's running apt update and apt install. So if we remove the cache, it'll freshly install postfix if there's a new version. But there shouldn't really be a new version of postfix like for a long time, especially because we're running on Debian, so it's already kind of an older, stabler version. And hopefully, do podman logs postfix. Yes. Okay. So it doesn't really tell us anything at all. But it says it's started. So configuration, yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's cool. Let's see what does it have some ports in here? Does it, or is there like a default port? Oh, my hostname also should be Postfix because that's what it's going to be in Docker Composed. Fix hostname. Okay, Postfix default SFTP ports. And this, I would love if we could just get like a quick AI summary. No, maybe not. They just need the numbers. Okay, 465. Send mail. 465. Okay, okay, so we'll do 8025 and 8465, and then we'll use a firewall rule because I don't like messing with the ports on the host system just because if you lower the port that you can run stuff that's like unprivileged on, you could potentially cause some issues if somebody were to get access to your system illegitimately. And I usually what I've done in the past is if you have a service that's running inside of Podman, which is obviously it's a rootless container system, so it doesn't have the permissions to bind to like port 80. What I'll do is I'll do port 8080 and then just do a Linux firewall rule to move all the traffic coming in on port 80 to port 8080. So then you don't have to worry about giving your containers permission to, if you give them permission to start ports as low as 80 without root permissions, then it's like they're also could start stuff on like 465 and like mess up your mail server or whatever, So I like to keep it where only the ports that I select are actually open to be run like as unprivileged, and they go to like specific ports. So it'll be like port 80 goes to port 8080. So you can start something on port 8080 that's unprivileged, but then it's the same as starting something on port 80. But you can't, for example, start something on port 81 without root privileges. So that's what we're going to do here. And okay, so we need 25 and 465. So I'm just gonna get my container, my podman compose file from here. I need to put this on Docker shell at. So this is just running my LLMs. And a very similar configuration, just using Podman Compose. And so I have. So how do I get it? Because I have to. Oh, okay. You just use ports. Okay. So okay. Actually, it looks like here I didn't do that, so maybe it's not possible. Okay, let's look into this more because I want to make sure I give this a good try. Traffic from 1 another tables. Hmm. So, okay, yeah, they're actually mentioning port 25 in this one, so let's look at this. Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's just steal this. And is this gosh, what's the word I'm looking for today? Are they lost on reboot? There's a word. There's a word. Persistent. Yes. Okay. So yeah, I guess I can actually go back in and upgrade this at a later date. So I'm gonna write that down on my note. Because I think I was having trouble with it and I just ended up not doing it, but I meant to come back and fix it. So I have to come back and fix that. So let's say use IP tables for better security. Okay, yeah. Got that written down, and let's come back here. So I just use ports because I thought, for whatever reason, I thought because it's in a like virtual network that you would have to forward the port from the virtual network, but I guess you just forward the port from the container directly, and it just figures it out. So that's good because that makes it easier for me to configure. So let's come back to here. Machine control. Mail user. Okay, and let's do this. So we'll do ports. And then I think it's 25. Oh yeah, because there's a colon in it. Oh, do we? We don't have to. Maybe. Has a weird highlighting, so I think it means something's different. And let's just look at this with IP tables. I just want to make sure that I'm putting these in the right order. Let's just find the documentation. Host port is 8001. So wait, which one is host port and which one is container port? Does it say this somewhere? It looks like it says this somewhere, but it's not. I'm not seeing it. I think I'm just missing this. Okay. Between host port and container port in the above example. The host port is 8000. So the first one is the host port. Okay, so host port 8025, container port 25. That will accept mail, and then we need also the SMTP with TLS 465. Okay, SMTPS, yeah, 465. So 8465 565. Perfect. Okay, so let's save this. Add ports for SMTP. And then should have put a comment there. That's fine. It doesn't need a comment. I know what it's doing. I know what it's doing, and I have a video log. I'll add a comment maybe later, so that I don't forget that it's running IP tables to redirect these to the correct ports. So okay, so that's fine. I think I could just edit the IP tables directly, but I'm just going to use this just because I'm not super experienced with IP tables, so I don't want to. I gotta do this. Yeah. Can be saved. Reload it. Okay. Yes. Oh, so I guess maybe I should have done that after I did the IP. That's fine. That's fine. Well, let's just uninstall it just so that I don't have to manually. Let's just do purge. So let's set up these rules. So okay. So are we on at 0? What do we have? We have this. Okay. Yeah, no, we're not on F0. We're on this. Whatever this is. This is my Ethernet. So it's source port, okay. So anything from 25 should go to 8025, and anything from 465 should go to 8465. So 8025. Oh, of course, IP tables is not installed. Why would IP tables be installed? IP tables. Oh, that's what? It is installed. Okay. So why is this not working? Oh, I have to run it as sudo. Okay, there we go. And then 8465 from 465. Okay. There we go. And then now we can do install IP tables. Wow, I really cannot spell. IP tables persistent. And then save. There we go. Okay, so now our IP table should be saved. And so hopefully, if I do, I just control R. Okay, wait, hold on. I did this. Yeah. There we go. Okay, so I'm just gonna do that from now on, so I don't have to type that every time. So let's go mail plotting compose. Let's bring this down. Compose up. Oh, we have to pull actually. Yeah, pull. Yeah. Oh. What did I change? Oh, I just commented out environment. Okay, yeah. Get reset hard. Yeah. And then all we have to do is start it, admin, compose, build, or no, up, daemonize, build. There we go. Okay. So now it should be building, and it should get all of the configuration files, and the log should be working, and it has the certificates in there, so it should be working with the certificates. So theoretically, I should be able to send this an email, and we will see it show up in the volume. So let's actually see, can we find where the volume is? I think, actually I know where they are. They're in .local share containers storage volumes. There we go. Okay, so there's nothing in there. which is interesting because I feel like it should. Let's just double check before we send this email. Let's just double check. Postfix use Maildir. Okay. So, well, let's come in here. Let's come in here and add this. So, host mailbox. Mailbox size limit. Okay. Do we have host mailbox? So, home mailbox. So, okay. Let's see. Okay, this is in a user's home directory. Uh So we can do mail name, aliases. Okay, I don't know. Where did the so maybe, okay, let's just try, I'll put it up here, and add user, oh gosh, is it add user or user add? Hold on, let's check the documentation. If there's one thing I've learned today, it's that it's better to check the documentation than to go off my prior knowledge and have it be wrong. Because I'm also like, maybe there's just a... Okay. Yeah, and so I'm not running this from, because I want to be running this from root. I want to be running postfix from the root and just placing the mail in this home directory. So Sam, and then this we should do /home/sam/maildir. Okay, so this maybe will work. Let's see. Try using maildir by user, and this is interesting because then I guess I can add more like mail accounts just by adding users, which is cool. That's useful because it's very much like integrated with the like Linux system. So let's pull. Let's bring it down. Oh, podman compose. Compose down, and then compose up, demonize, build. Okay, and hopefully we will see when I run, let me just snap this command before it disappears. Hopefully we'll see when we list the volume, we should hopefully see the like maildir setup. So we should see, I think there's like, I don't know, there's like 3 directories. There's like it's like inbound, outbound, and like processing or whatever. There's like three basic directories. So we should see those in this volume. And we don't see them still. So interesting. Okay. Well, let's just try and send an email. Let's just try and send an email. Because, you know, there's a chance that if we send an email, so let's do sam@robog.net, and then maybe when it gets an email, test email. Because then also what this will do is this will send me like there was a delivery problem if it doesn't deliver. Because I'm hoping that at the very least the email should deliver, because Postfix is running, we have the ports set up, it's exposed to the internet, we have a certificate, we have MX records, so at the very least it should deliver, even if it like delivers to nowhere, you know, and we like don't know, it's like somewhere on the system that we don't know. But if it doesn't deliver, then that indicates that we have some sort of problem with our configuration along the way, and it'll get kicked back to me in my email, and it'll say this didn't deliver, and then we'll have some more information about that. This is a test email, exclamation point. Okay, let's send it. sam@robog.net. So hopefully this should work. Hopefully this should send something. So we're not seeing anything. I guess I could also, is there like a, can we just do like an online nmap? So let's see. If you want to get scan result, please log in to account. Okay. What if I just ignore that? Because we could just do real nmap on my computer. I'm just like kind of lazy. So let's see, nmap scan common ports. Yeah, honestly, I'll just use the manual page because I'm gonna get results faster. Let's just check this one more time. Okay, so can I make? Oh gosh, that's not. They should fix that. Wow, that contrast is really bad. New tab, and then nmap. Okay, sure. A representative nmap scan. Yeah, let's just do this. I think this might like take forever though, because I think we just want to scan common ports. So mail.robog.net. Oh, yeah, it's IPv6. Yeah, so this online thing probably won't even work anyways. Yeah, I don't think that worked, because I think it doesn't do IPv6. Which is fine, because most, you know, your Gmails and your iClouds and your whatever, they all support IPv6. So I'm just running with only IPv6 just because it's so much more of a headache to get working IPv4 addresses than it is to get IPv6 addresses. So from what I understand from my research, it shouldn't be a problem to just run mail through IPv6, but we should see, okay, so manufacturer Dell, that's kind of fun. I've got that. So SSH, of course, SMTP, I don't know what these other things are. Like NetBIOS, TCP wraps. Oh, so I think actually, yeah, these are, because it says they're filtered. This is ports that are like probably blocked by either my ISP or by my like firewall by default. So that's actually not a huge deal. And it doesn't look like SMTPS is open. Because it has SMTP. It has SMTP, but it doesn't have, what was it? Was it 435? 45? Hold on, let's see. What port did we open? Let's look at what ports we opened. Also, let's, just before we do anything drastic. Okay, yeah, there's still no mail in there. This is when we're getting logs. IP tables. What? Where did my IP tables go? Oh, my IP tables are in the other user. Yeah, okay, 465. So I did not see 465 in here at all. 25 is there. Okay, so I'm also quickly running up against time because I only have so much time today to stream. So I think we might very well soon. Oh wow, I have so much email in my junk folder. So we might very well soon end this here. And I think tomorrow we'll just do, just again, more work on trying to get SMTP to work at all. Let's see, Postfix, enable SMTPS on 465, because maybe it's something easy, hopefully. Okay. Okay, like this is great and all, but this has not actually told me how to do it. Oh, I actually want that because I want my search back. Okay, let's try this. Someone from France. That's fun. .fr. SMTPS. Oh, yes. See, a good thing I saved that configuration file, because now you just go here and find SMTPS. I see SMTP. SMTPD. Oh, maybe not. Is it not in here? Oh dear. Okay, so let's look at this. Let's see. It looks like my email was delivered. So we have something working correctly, because I have it's been 5 minutes and I haven't gotten like a kickback message. So it looks like my email was delivered. It just was delivered to nothing. So that's cool, I guess. Like, so we have, yeah, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and end it here. And tomorrow we'll have to come back. We'll work on Dovecot. We'll work on actually getting the mails to show up, because it looks like they're delivering. So we did something right. We did something right. We have our certificates. We have our domain is configured. And I sent an email and it didn't kick back saying it was undelivered. So somewhere in this Docker container, I think the email is in there, but we need to make sure that it's actually properly going to the maildir. We have to make sure that it's properly authenticated with the certificates using SMTPS, and or Start TLS is also fine, but I think generally it's preferred to use SMTPS these days. And yeah, I think once we finish that, we can move on to Dovecot. So that'll be for tomorrow or maybe a later date, and I guess I will see everybody soon. Thank you so much for sticking with me through this debugging, and yeah, stay nice, be kind, and I will see you later.